Hello everyone and welcome to SkShadow. Today we are playing F1 again. So this time we are going into the Dutch Grand Prix, which is our third race of the season. So our first two we finished 5th and 7th. So we're solidly in the points, in a 6th place I think we are. Yeah, 6th place. So best of the rest currently, which is quite good. Considering our teammate has come 15th and 20th. We are now level 5, which means that we get to add a new sponsor. So our first one was that, however you pronounce that, which is complete a race with no DNFs within the team. So we need to look for another one. So that one's got reasonably high gold bonus, but not the best weekly income. So probably try and go with one with a good weekly income that we can actually achieve. Let's go for quest. Complete a race with no DNFs within the team. That gives us 110,000 for the weekly income, and then 136,000 if we get that goal, which we should do most of the time. I'm hoping we shouldn't have too many DNFs within the team. That means we can add that now onto our livery, so change some of these to quest instead, or QE, if you want to say it in French. Leave that one a shark, and that one can be QE. So there we go. Now we've got a few more sponsors on the car, which is always nice. On top of that, we have 2.99 million, so we could upgrade one of our facilities. So obviously we need to make sure we have at least 1.5 million by the 20th of July to be able to pay for our contract for ILOT, but we should be okay. So I think durability is fine. I reckon we can go for aerodynamics. If we increase the resource point generation, then we'll get a good amount of resource points. Got no scheduled upgrades. We could probably go for one.
We could go for something like
so
this.
Where are we the weakest? Definitely aero. So we've done a front wing and a drag. If we go for a rear wing, and that is going to come on the 10th, which is after the Dutch Grand Prix, so that's going to be afterwards. But we get durability, department focus, air upgrade. Make sure I don't upgrade things too quickly, because in this my team, if you go as fast as you possibly can with upgrades, you end up pretty much the best team by season 2, which I think is a bit unrealistic. So probably won't go for that. But we're going to get our weekly resources of about 500k and 160 resource points. Might be enough to buy a development in durability. Durability is always actually quite good, because it can actually make quite a big difference on how many points you get based on how many times you have to take penalties. But going into the Dutch Grand Prix. So we're into the Dutch Grand Prix. The weekend preview looks fine. Weather forecast, thankfully, it's going to be dry in qualifying and race, so that's good. Performance comparison, we are still above Haas, Alfa Romeo and Williams. Still below Alpha Tauri, but pretty much on par. Although Alfa Romeo have made quite a big progress on their performance. We've got a couple of upgrades coming, so obviously the durability and aero, but that's not going to arrive until a little bit later. Power unit wise, we're still all good. Gearbox, etc, etc. Annoyingly, practice 1 and 2 are raining, so I'm going to have to skip those and just go straight to practice 3, because there's no point practicing the rain. I'm going to do the practice, and I'll see you back in qualifying. So coming out of practice, I have been asked who is our main competition on the grid. So I'd say none of these people are really within the competition, but I'll probably go with Kvyat, simply because he's in the Alpha Tauri, which should be okay. Start season, how do you think everything's going to go? With a great team like this, I can't fail. I mean, it's my team, so it's a bit big-headed, but I will. So we're into qualifying now. As you will see in a second, I did have a spin in practice. So that just proves my point that I'm not the best at this track. So a little bit of a pre-warning. But also the car's really not that suited for the track either. But we're going to qualifying and see what we can do. So crossing the line to start our first qualifying lap. Going into the first corner, it's always a little bit tricky. You need a fair amount of front downforce to be able to do that one quickly. And then the same here. It's always quite difficult not to lock up and to get round here quickly enough. A little bit of a wobble there. Yeah, these ones are a little bit easier because they don't require as much downforce. So for a car like ours that's reasonably quick in a straight line but not very good when it comes to aero, those corners are well suited for our car, but these sort of corners that require a lot of aero are not. To the last corner, now onto the main straight. One thing I do really like about this track is the elevation. There's so much going on, but we do a 111.8, which I think is probably the slowest at the moment. I mean, we did have that a fairly big wobble at the beginning, so we'll do a second lap and see if we can improve. So it's not the slowest because Latifi has got a 111.9 so far, but Ilot is fairly quicker than us. So crossing the line, we're currently 19th, so we're going to need to at least find some time if we have any hope of getting into Q2. We don't almost spin out this time, which gains us almost 5 temps. Well, more than 5 temps now. So we just need to make sure we try and stay quick for the rest of the lap. You can definitely feel the lack of front downforce through these corners though. It is quite difficult to get any amount of speed through here, especially with the front left tyre overheating as much as it is. So that's put us P18 with Ilot in P16. He's just about 2 temps quicker than us. And he is in 16th, which means he's going into Q2, so it'll be interesting to see where he starts the race. But that is it for qualifying for us, so we will move on to the race. So looking at the grid, we've got Bottas ahead of Hamilton. 3 of them are on mediums, and for some reason Norris has decided he's going to start on hards. And so have we, actually. We're on hards apparently to begin the race. Ilot ended up P16 anyway, so not too much of an issue. And our supposed hard strategy is hard to softs, but it does say we would be quicker if we do a medium soft. So I think we'll go for a medium soft. Try and spice it up a bit, do a slightly different strategy to our teammate, and see if it means we can come out ahead. Lights out and away we go. A little bit of wheel spin, but we managed to hold it. Get straight past our teammate. Got to be careful on the brakes. Don't want to be hitting anyone. Our teammate actually manages to get past us in the huge kerfuffle of people, but we do manage to get past him again. A little bit of contact, but we squeeze him out. We're ahead going into this corner. We now have Grosjean to try and overtake. He's also on medium, so probably a similar strategy to us. But you could tell the difference between doing a race start on mediums and hards, because we just flew past Ilot. We managed to make a move on Grosjean very, very late there. So we've made the move on Grosjean. It is now time to try and overtake Kvyat, who is our new rival. So it would be fantastic if we can. Norris making a little bit of a blunder there, but we're certainly not catching up to Kvyat anywhere near as quick as we were Grosjean. We've now made over a second gap to our teammate Ilot down in 17th place. Norris is on hard, so he's going to be a little bit slower out the corners, so I suspect that's probably why we're going so slow out the corners. DRS is now enabled, so that should help us a little bit. Hopefully Kvyat will be able to get past Norris, otherwise we're just going to be stuck behind them for a fair while. Obviously I also play my own my team and career, at which point are much better cars than we got here, so it always takes a little bit of getting used to when I jump back into this one. Putting on the overtake, we're going to have the DRS as well, so I suspect Kvyat's going to maybe get past Norris. No, not quite. Have to slam on the brakes there as usual. They're braking quite early, so we're going to be on these sets of tyres for a fair while, as obviously Jeff has just told us that our pit window is in 17 laps time, so we're going to have to try and make these work for a while, using a bit more overtake just to propel us into this pit straight with the DRS on, but we're not getting any closer, which is about right anyway, because the performance of our car is supposed to be a little bit slower than the AlphaTauri, and obviously Kvyat's on softs, so he's got that advantage anyway. Grosjean's still managing to keep up quite well though, so he's on the mediums and he's about 7/10 behind, but again he hasn't just got enough power to be able to try and overtake us on the straights. That's the problem with this track. It's a really nice track to drive, but there's not many overtaking opportunities. There's one DRS zone and it's quite a short straight, so yeah, not much overtaking opportunity here. Now 3.5 seconds ahead of Ilott, so those hards really aren't working very well for him, which is a good thing that we didn't try and do that strategy. We're getting closer now, and Grosjean has just dropped out of the 1 second zone now, so going into the next DRS zone he might not have it, so we'll probably start pulling away a little bit from Grosjean, hopefully, but we're still really nowhere near Kvyat. Yeah, the problem is being stuck behind Norris for this long has created a huge gap in front of Norris, because if Norris wasn't there we'd probably be able to go a lot faster. But obviously, like I was saying, this track is so difficult to overtake on, we're probably going to be stuck behind him for most of the race, I'd imagine. So Grosjean is now 2 seconds behind, so being out of the DRS zone has definitely made a difference, and our teammate is still just about 6 seconds behind now. Looking at the map, he is definitely running a train of literally everyone else behind him, so he's clearly slower than them, but with the difficulty overtaking here, it's he's probably going to be able to keep that position. Oh, almost lost it there. Almost lose it again. Obviously, slow corners in this thing are difficult, and we now have a failure of DRS.
You'll have to come in so we can try and attempt to fix. Pit in for repairs.
Oh no, our DRS is stuck open, so we need to go to the pits. Oh, that is... Oh no, that is not good. That moves us onto a 2-stop strategy, because we're definitely not going to make hards last this long.
Go now. We'll be doing one more stop today. 1 stop left in our strategy.
Well, it clearly didn't work. We've still got DRS stuck open.
There is a fault to the DRS. You won't be able to open the rear wing. We're working on a fix. Stay out.
Okay, so now it's apparent that we won't be able to open the rear wing, and they're working on a fix, even though the rear wing is very clearly open, as you can see. So I really don't know what's going on here. The team seem to have absolutely no idea what they're doing, but yeah, we are now on a 2-stop, which is really not fun. We are slowly managing to catch up with Latifi though. We're about 2.7 seconds behind now.
Our gap to the car in front is 2.6 seconds.
So we've had Ocon come out now onto the hards, and Gasly behind us onto the hards. So we've got to try and be as fast as we can on this set of softs. Really.
The car ahead of you has just fitted the hard tyres.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that was not easy. The problem with DRS being stuck open, you have so much less downforce. Obviously, we are still going to be somewhat faster in the corners, simply because we're on softs and everyone else is on hards, and our softs are still relatively new, but we get DRS apparently. I don't know how that works.
Okay, you should see DRS back online now.
They fixed it. I didn't even need to come in, even though they told me come into the pits, but no. So they just ruined my race basically. It's fantastic. You know, I was saying earlier about reliability. Need to work on that. Looks like we're going to be putting on another set of softs when we come out. of the pit again. Obviously the Renault is a very fast car compared to us, so even with DRS, I'm not sure we're going to be able to... Oh, Jesus. That was... that was very close to avoid hitting him there, but it meant we managed to get past him. Now the tricky bit is keeping him behind us. Although it does look like the softs are a lot quicker than their hards, because going into this DRS zone, he's more than a second behind us. So this 2-stop might not be as bad as I originally thought. We just need to give it as much push as we can on both stints. So we're now within 4 seconds of our teammate who has yet to pit. So these softs have definitely been working wonders. Should be alright. There's Adam down in the bottom right. He's playing F1 as well by the looks of it. Tell us in the comments if you'd like to watch a race between me and Adam. I'm not sure how happy Adam would be about it, but I'd do it. Also, if you got to this point and you're enjoying it, make sure to leave a like. If you want to watch a bit more of this, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and it'll tell you every time we upload. If you like Discord and you want to speak to us, give us any tips or whatever, we've got a link in the description for that as well. So come join there, talk to us. We're always open for a bit of chat, me and Adam. So we're now 2.5 seconds behind Ricardo. Grosjean just pit, but yeah, 2.5 seconds behind Ricardo, who is behind Ilot. So we are slowly catching up with them. These softs are starting to wear off a little bit though, so hopefully when we go into the pit for our second set of softs, we should be able to push them hard and hopefully get up to Ilot. I mean, Ilot's just been overtaken by Ricardo actually.
Keep pushing. We think the car ahead has been using a lot of fuel and may have to dial their engine down.
Ooh, that's interesting. Ilot's been using a bit too much fuel, has he? He's going to have to run into lean mode. I've never heard that one before actually. Out of playing this for over 180 hours or something, I've never heard that before. We are now within DRS zone of him, so if we manage to keep this into the next DRS zone, an overtake should be relatively simple, I'd imagine. Yeah, we're definitely a lot quicker than him. You can just see us gaining so much speed. But we have DRS now, we've got a fair bit of overtake available as well. And we should be able to get him into this corner, leaving enough space for him, but we still managed to make the move stick. I imagine we'll be pulling away quite quickly now. But this does mean that either way we should still finish ahead of our teammate, because he's still yet to pit, and obviously we've got to pit again for our second set of softs. Got 4 laps till the pit window opens, so it's another 4 laps to push as hard as we can. Our tyres aren't doing too bad. Front left is a bit iffy, but that was the one that was overheating earlier. Engine is already showing small signs of wear, and we're only into race 3. So that shows you how much of an issue reliability is in the first season. We've already made up 4 seconds on our teammate, and it looks like he's probably quite close to getting overtaken by Ocon soon. So yeah, he's definitely had a bit of trouble. Like Jeff said, probably used a bit too much fuel. Yellow flag. Looks like that Williams is blown up. Oh no, it's not the Williams. Somebody's blown up. Oh no, it is the Williams. Okay. Almost losing it again. Honestly, this car is pretty unstable. It's quite difficult to drive. You know, one thing we haven't had yet is a safety car in any of these free races. Looks like we are pitting this lap as well. We definitely do need to. Our front left is on 57%. And we go into the pits for the second time in this race. And a lovely pit crew in their bright green suits. And a 2-second stop. That is pretty good. Not Red Bull level, but that's still pretty fast. And we come out in 17th. Not too bad, but we are definitely catching up to Grosjean quite quickly. Already 8 temps. So, he's set purple sector 3. So, shows you how good these new softs are. Oh, Jesus, that was not good. That certainly was not good. See a bit of a replay of that. That was not good. You lose it there and just go straight through the gravel and then almost lose it again. We're now 2.4 seconds behind. So we've got to make up all that time again. Our teammate is now in the pits, so we're definitely going to overtake him. We're now 1.5 behind Grosjean, so we're slowly making time again, as long as we don't almost come off the track again. We now have DRS on Grosjean, so we're going to use that and a bit of overtake as well, so try and close the gap.
We're catching the car ahead, but be aware that these tyres need to last till the end of the race. We're leading our teammate by 7.8 seconds.
Yeah, they really do seem to struggle for traction out of slow corners on the hards. You can see them wiggling around every time they come out of a slow corner. Using all the overtake we can, and then we're going to get the help of DRS down here, and hopefully we should be able to overtake. Yeah, we're just about getting the move done. And now next up is Kvyat, who is about 1.5 ahead. So going into this DRS zone, we have DRS on Kvyat now. We haven't managed to make the overtake yet, but hopefully going into this main straight we will. Got blue flag for someone up ahead by the looks of it, using all the overtake we have. Going around the outside, we just about managed to make it work. That was a lovely overtake. Going into this DRS zone, he's already over a second behind, so that's definitely worked. So this two-stop actually worked quite well by the seems of it, assuming we can bring these tyres to the end. So skipping to the end of lap 32, we are now within DRS range of Gasly. So yeah, it shows that these softs are definitely a lot quicker than the hards, because obviously if we were on hards we definitely wouldn't be catching up this quick. So I think in the future I might even look at doing two stops potentially, because it seems to actually be quite a good way to go. Yeah, with Gasly having DRS as well on Ocon, unfortunately we're just not fast enough to be able to make an overtake. So going into the final lap of the race, our front left tyre is on 56%, so yeah, it's very much cutting it tight. Probably 1 or 2 more laps and we could have been in big trouble with our tyres, but looks like we're just going to be able to make it work. Unfortunately we haven't been able to get past Gasly or Ocon, simply because they're just a bit too quick. And going into the pit straight, crossing the line, and we finish in 14th, and we actually didn't get given the driver of the day, which is interesting, as we made quite a few blunders there, but we still managed it. Made the two-stop work, which is always good. So the final results were Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen. We came 14th, so no points this time, and ILOT came 19th. Other than that, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, share, comment, all that fantastic action. Check links in the description, and that's it from me. Good night.